क्या करेंगे? Yeah. We'll do last week. A story by O. Henry. We'll do. First, let us do this, reach for the top because we need second class will. What are you feeling the Diwali? Anand, I want some notes which ma'am gave. Not study, enjoyment. Yeah. Nothing except the 5 craft questions. Nothing. Except 5 crackers. I watched a movie also with my cousin. They came over. Which movie? Your language? Some horror movie. Hindi, English. Conjuring. And your already was their dad. How terrifying it is. Not much. It is mere story. Horror, it is mostly none. Your horror. Indian horror films are like circus.
Yes.
Enough?
They don't have like pure horror. Their genre is horror comedy.
कॉमेडी बन जाता है.
Yes. ये बोल बोलेगा वो उसमें horror almost है ही नहीं.
स्टोरी भी इतना it's not that strong.
बस लास्ट में climax पे रहता है वो थोड़ा.
What I said, reach for the top ना. ये थोड़ा जल्दी कर लेते हैं. That has no tutorial training. Reach for the top, we have 2 parts. One is Santosh Yadav, and the second one is Maria Sharapova. We all know about Maria Sharapova. And but we know less about Santosh Yadav, a girl who scaled mountain. So, introduction, देखो, the article is about Santosh Yadav, the first woman in the world to climb Mount Everest. So, we know about Tenzing Norway, we know about who else? Vajendri Palna. And then we all know about Edward Hillary.
Yes.
Tenzing Norway, we know less about this girl, Santosh Yadav. And we'll see that the condition that she grew up and how a girl from Haryana or Punjab how could she have so much of determination? So this story is about determination. Whatever you have, whichever atmosphere you are born or grew up, What matters is your attitude and your willingness to do. And I have noticed, Akash and Anand, in questions, you have a tendency, both of you have a tendency to skip points. If you skip points, you will not get marks. Don't skip points. अभी मैंने 2 पेपर करेक्ट किया. I am एक में शायद 18 मिला, 18.5 मिला. और एक में you both of you scored very less, 12, 12.5 ऐसे कुछ हुआ ना. You didn't get the papers, you will get them. I completed correctly. One exam, both one of you got 18, one of you got 18.5. A second जो है उसमें both of you scored very less. So how come both of you are scoring less? So you missed the main points. Check करके we'll discuss. If you get this week, we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. This article is about Santosh Yadav, the first woman in the world. First woman in the world. This is a key point. First woman in the world to climb Mount Everest twice. The world. Mount Everest twice, not India, world. The first woman, उसके बाद बहुत सारा हुआ.
In this book, it's written only that.
Let them write, but maybe when this story was written, she was the only woman. But now we know there are many others. Mount Everest twice. Her story, no, only woman in the world to climb Mount Everest. It didn't stop here, twice. The main point here is twice, दो बार. Maybe there are other women who they have scaled, but only once. She did it twice. Her story is inspiring despite being born in a skewed society that did not welcome the birth of a girl child. Where girls were married off at 16, she made her own path, followed her desire. So it's about desire, following your desire and achieve world fame. So if you follow your desire, if you have the determination, nothing can stop you from achieving world fame. So the main points here is about the story is determination, desire. Santosh Yadav was born to wealthy landowners in Jonia. What is the name of the village? I think there's a mistake over here. It's in Bihar. Jonia was, no? Jonia was village of Rohtak district in Haryana. So she was.
Rewari district. Rewari district.
Yeah, this is wrong, no?
Yes.
What's the spelling?
REW.
Wait. So this is what Google gives us. R
EW. WARI.
Rewari. Rewari district in Haryana. Yes. She was the youngest child, a sister to 5 elder brothers. So there was no, she was wealthy. So there was no financial constraint. नहीं था. But what was there? Prejudice. So she was a sister to 5 elder brothers. Due to the tradition, she was forced to study in the village school. What was the tradition that women, girls should not should not get good education, because if the more they are educated, the less they can get a room for them. The less opportunity they will get because patriarchal society, men never wanted their wives to be more educated than them. So that is the family pressure, that is the patriarchal society, and that is the prejudice. That women, girls should get married at a very young age. They are born to get married and take care of the household. So it's not necessary for them to go to good schools. Any type of education will. forced to study in the village school. Since childhood, she was opposed to the customs, preferred wearing shorts in opposition to the traditional dresses like salwar kameez. They showed that she was a rebel from her young age, from childhood. At the age of 16, like other girls in the village, she was forced to get married, but she resisted and insisted upon getting education before getting married. She took admission, so she was forced. They were forcing her to. She did not get married, but parents were forcing her to get married. But she resisted. What did she say? She wanted to get educated first. She took admission in a school. I'm just reading out the summary first. Okay. She took admission in a school in Delhi, but her parents refused to support her. Why? Because she did not listen to them. They said, you want to study, you want to go out of Haryana, earn your money and study. We are not going to support you. When someone says, your parent says, you want to go to school, we are not going to support you. You go to school, but we are not going to support you. Is it possible for you to come to school? Who will pay the fees? Then what you have to do? You have to do some other menial job to get your money. So the same thing happened with, though they had the money, but they did not have the desire to send their girl child to a good school. So she had the aspiration. She wanted to study well. She didn't want to get married and follow the tradition. So she took admission in a school in Delhi, but her parents refused to support her. She accepted it and decided to work part-time to find a schooling fee. This is the desire. This is the aspiration. मुझे करना ही है. Finally, her parents agreed to support her. Her father accepted her desire to get higher education. After high school, Santosh joined the Maharani College at Jaipur and lived at the Kasturba hostel. There she saw the villagers climb the Aravalli hills and was curious to know what was at the other side of the hills. This is the time she started to think about mountains. If I climb the mountain, Aravalli hill, if I climb the mountain, what lies on the other side of the mountain? Curiosity. So if you feel that what lies on the other side of the ocean, so you will try to explore. You will try to take a ride on the ship. वो side में क्या है? What lies on the other side of River Ganga? Let me swim and go and find out. Something like that. So that was when. So if you see a plane, just like APJ Abdul Kalam, how he desired to work in ISRO, because when he was small, he saw the seagull and the birds, they are flying, and that wings of fire that gave her the desire that gave her the desire to work on something that is related to flying. That's why he joined ISRO, Space Research Center. She joined a group of mountaineers there and hence undertook her first climbing expedition. Climbing expedition, she did not take any class. She did not, because there was no support, only support to get educated. So everything else, to fulfill one's desire, you will get support to study. You will not get support to pursue your be a footballer or be a cricketer. Then what will you do? You will just play with the gully student, teacher, boys, and improve your skills. Right? The same way she started expedition with a local group of mountaineers there and undertook her first climbing expedition. Within 4 years, in 1992, she climbed Mount Everest. Her qualities of determination. So if you want, you can write these points. Otherwise, I'm going to give you the notes. We have some more classes left. I'll give you the next class. So if you don't want to write, don't write, just listen. Determination, but you can write. Determination is a very important point here. Physical and mental strength impressed her seniors. Her fellow climbers appreciated. Oh, I have to share now. Yes. Who will tell me? Who will remind me?
Screen.
So we are talking about who?
Santosh.
Santosh Yadav, uh, the first woman who climbed Mount Everest twice. Huh? Twice in the world. In the world. Her fellow climbers appreciated her concern for others and willingness to work in a team. She saved the life of a fellow climber named Mohan Singh by sharing her oxygen cylinder with him. She joined an Indo-Nepalese woman expedition and climbed Everest twice, thus becoming the first woman in the world to climb the peak twice. Is it not possible? We have to go to Nepal to for an expedition to Mount Everest.
Because it is in Nepal only.
So we cannot start anything from India, right? It's man. So Tenzing Norway and Edmund Hillary. Edmund Tenzing Norway, I think it's from Nepal. I think so. Santosh cannot describe the immense feeling of happiness and pride when she was on top of the world. And she hoisted the Indian flag. She felt proud to be an Indian. Being an environmentalist, she brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. Uh, uh, not only did she's also a environmentalist, thinking about environment. She brought 100 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. Just 500. Just imagine people going for expedition and they are just spoiling the environment. That we shouldn't do. That's why nowadays I think there are some strict rules and regulations till they cannot reach to the top, go to the top. There are put rules and regulations so why? So that the environment, because the environment was getting spoiled due to the expedition adventure wish of the people. So the only woman in the world who has scaled Mount Everest twice. So this is important. Not only woman in the world who has scaled Mount Everest is not important. He scaled it twice. She scaled it twice. Was born in a society where the birth of a son was regarded as a blessing, and a daughter patriarchal society. That talks about a patriarchal society. And a daughter, though not considered a curse, but not generally welcome. When her mother was expecting Santosh, a traveling holy man giving her his blessing assumed that she wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother who was standing close by told him that they did not want a son, So because already they had 5 sons. Now they wanted a daughter. This shows that grandmother was not did not belong to that typical conservative, did not have that typical conservative mindset, patriarchal mindset. She wanted a girl. And the holy man was surprised to listen to this. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, he gave the requested blessing, and as destiny would have it, the blessing seemed to go. Santosh was born the 6th child in a family with 5 sons, a sister to 5 brothers. She was born in the small village of Jonia. Jonia was, na? See again, of Rewari district in Haryana. This time they are right? So was is together, Jonia was. When this article was written, Santosh Jadhav was the only woman in the world to have climbed Mount Everest twice. So when this article was written, she was the only woman in the world. After that, scenario changed. Many went up. But when this was written, this story was written, she was the only one. She was born in such a society that was biased towards having a male child over a female child. Although they did not consider the birth of a girl child to be unfortunate, it was not a curse. But they rejoiced when there was a birth of a boy. In Haryana, female feticide is very common. Before the birth of the child, they find out the gender of the child, and if it is a girl, they do not want that girl. Female feticide is very common in Haryana. But here, it's not about a curse. They were happy. They were not happy, but they did not mourn the death of the birth of Santosh. But who was different? Grandmother was different. A sister of 5 brothers, Santosh was born in a village. Okay. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment. Santosh we know, na? Contentment. मैं संतोष हूँ, satisfied, satisfaction. But Santosh was not always content with her place in a traditional way of life. She began living life on her own terms from the beginning. She was a rebel. When other girls wore traditional Indian dresses, Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from my very beginning, I was quite determined that if I choose a correct and rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. So if I'm right, if I'm truthful, the others around me, even if they falsify, I will not change myself and try say telling lies. They have to change around me. They will change eventually around me, seeing me. I'm an honest man. So that's what that's why there is a the same way a rotten apple spoils the whole lot. She says, I do not believe in that. If I'm not rotten, if the others are rotten, if they want me to rot, I will not change my stand. They have to change their stand according to my wish. तभी ठीक नहीं है? Not feeling well? Okay. I'm used to seeing this. My son was always like this, running nose. This is allergy, na? And you don't even know why. Answer is not known to you. You go to sleep, get up.
Nowadays it is not happening. When I was younger, it used to happen.
As you grow up, it will come down. And the reason is not known. All of a sudden it starts. Huh? I know. And I familiar with this, but I used to feel very bad. Oh my God, my son is suffering. But he used to say, कुछ problem नहीं है, just like you. आप लोगों को problem नहीं होता है, सच में नहीं होता है. My son used to, I said, I'm so feeling so sorry for you. You are sneezing. No, nothing, no problem. I'm fine. How come you are always running your nose and you are feeling fine?
Not always.
Whenever.
When
But how come you feel fine?
because you just get used to it.
You get used to it.
When I have this cold for 1 day, I would feel irritated, but second day it would not go away only. But sometimes it would not go away, so I would not care.
But you don't take any anti-allergy medicine, nothing.
No,
It goes on its own. You take. You don't. It goes on its own. Come and go on its own. Like. लेकिन हमने कुछ पढ़ा था ना भूत के बारे में? No.
Ishwar and the story.
Ishwar. Like that. Okay. So the meaning of santosh is satisfaction or contentment. This is a better word. If I choose a correct and rational path, what did she say? If I choose a correct and rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. So if I will not change. So I want to study. My parents does not want me to study. They want me to get married. I will, I will not change from my stand. They have to change and they have to agree that yes, Santosh wants to study, she will study, she will not get married, not the otherwise. So Santosh said that I will not give up. मेरा stand तो पक्का है. अभी आपको decide करो आपको मेरे साथ जाना है या नहीं जाना है. So this is again a sign of his determination and courage. The very small age going against society and parents is a big thing, isn't it? So this again shows his determination. So if the society was like that, boys after 10 years of age, they cannot go to school, they have to go to the field and help their parents. They have to go to the office and help their parents because they are the boy, they have to earn bread. And you say, I want to study, I want to do my undergraduation, and then I will start working with Papa. And if you आप डट के रहो पूरे सोसाइटी में सब जगह पे you see 10-year-old boy going following their going with their father to the office or to the field or anywhere, and you say I will not do it, so you will not change, you will go to office. The other family members who are sending their children to office, they have to change because you are right. Child labor is not accepted. So if you are right, the society has to follow you. If you are wrong, you cannot expect any follower. But if you are right, then everybody other will, all others will follow you. Satisfaction, okay. Although Santosh's name means contentment, she was dissatisfied with the traditional way of life. From a young age, she started living life on her own terms, while other girls wore traditional Indian dresses like salwar kameez. She preferred wearing shorts. Santosh recollects from childhood, she was determined to live life according to what she felt was right for her, not for the society, for her. If she was right in her way, then others would have to change their way and not her. She will not change. Santosh's parents were affluent landowners who could afford to send their children to the best schools, even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was quite close. Haryana, Delhi, close here. But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to make do with the local village school. So she decides. So they didn't want to spend, though they were very rich, they didn't want to spend money on a girl child because what the girl child will do? Eventually get married and take care of the household, have children. So what is the use of spending money on girl? So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. And the right moment came when she turned 16. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same. A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. She threatened her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She felt home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. So this was also a big step of a 16-year-old girl without any support from the family. Don't you feel so? So if you turn 16 and you want to study in those school in Dehradun and you tell your parents, they say no, you secretly give the exam, you get admission, but your parents say no, and we are not going to allow you to go to a hostel at this age, and you leave home without your parents' support. Don't you feel it's a very, very big step? The same step and being a girl child. She left home and got herself enrolled in a school in Delhi. When her parents refused to pay for her education, she politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part-time to pay her school fees. Her parents then agreed to pay for her education because उनको लगा कि अभी ज़्यादा ही हो रहा है. एक तो girl child है, 16-year-old है, and for money she has to work part time and go to different places, and that can bring disgrace to the family. So finally they agreed to pay the fees. Wishing always to study a bit more, and with her father slowly getting used to her urge for more education, now father got used to ziddi hai na. So father got used to kitna डांटेंगे. So now father got used to the to listening to the desire to fulfilling the desire of Santosh, because he understood that it is not possible for them to bend Santosh. Santosh will do whatever she wants to do. And do you feel Santosh's desire was not worth fulfilling? It was a wrong desire? No. So the parents also knew that her desire was to come up in life, not a bad thing, not something that will ruin her image. So finally, father got used to this, the zid of the daughter, and started saying yes. And do you think the father had any option of saying no to the girl? No, because उसने बोल ही दिया, if you say no, I will fend for myself. I'll earn my own money and I will study, but I will study. I'll not get married. Where was it? Santosh, wishing always to study a bit more, and with her father slowly getting used to her urge for more education, Santosh passed the high school examinations and went to Jaipur. From Delhi, she went to Jaipur, जहाँ उसने कौन सा mountain देखा था? From the hostel, Kasturba hostel window, Aravali mountain, and she used to see people climbing the mountain, and she had an urge to see what lies on the other side of the mountain. That was the first time she had an urge, desire to climb mountain. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba hostel faced the Aravalli hills. I used to watch villagers from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing after a while. Of course, ऊपर जाते थे, थोड़ा नीचे गया तो vanish हो जाएगा. One day I decided to check it out myself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. I asked if I could join them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated me to taking a plan. To take to climbing with them. So there was no formal education. It was just a wish, just our inquisitiveness to know what lies on the other side of the mountain, that seeing the villages, that made Santosh Jadhav what she is. That fulfilled her desire to be a mountain girl. Santosh wanted to be, then there was no looking back for this determined young girl. Determination is the key word here. She saved desire. She saved money and enrolled in a course at now. After that, after having a rough stint with the mountaineers, and now she found it interesting. Now she enrolled herself because without formal, you can play gully football, gully cricket, but to be in a form in a you under 14 or under 17 or in the district, what to say, tournaments to play there, you need to have a formal training. You need to go there formally. Through proper channels. So it's not that you just खड़ा हो गया, मैंने खेला है, I know everything and you take me. No, the selection, there is a process for selection. So she had to do this because everywhere As an amateurist, you cannot up Mount Everest with, you cannot go and just go to Nepal and say, I want to climb the Mount Everest. No, there are rules and regulations that you need to follow, and you have to come through a proper channel. So
Medical checks by the doctor.
yes, so she had to enroll herself. So she saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi's Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but it ended on the 19th of May. And I was supposed to be in Uttarkashi on the 21st. So I did not go back home. So therefore, after finishing, immediately she joined. See, this is the desire. Instead, I headed straight for the training. I had to write a letter of apology to my father without whose permission, I had got myself enrolled at Uttarkashi. So wrote a apology letter. So this shows his humility. He had so much of respect for father. So though a rebellion, she had a respect for her father. So because she did not take his permission, she wrote an apology letter to him. This reveals her humility, her humble characteristics. Thereafter, Santosh went on an expedition every year. Her climbing after completion of the course. Her climbing skills matured rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and altitude because you can have a breathing problem. Because if you are not used to, suddenly if you are taken to a higher altitude, you might develop a breathing problem. So slowly, you have to increase your resistance and your resistance towards cold and high altitude, because the moment you go up, the oxygen level goes down, isn't it? So we find it difficult to breathe. So climbing skills matured rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance to cold and altitude, equipped with an iron will. Iron will.
And will
Strong determination. No one can break it. No one can break it. A will, wish that no one can break. Physical endurance.
one body does not break easily, she can stand.
Yeah, she can endure any type of weather, the harsh climate, and an amazing mental toughness. If you do not have mental toughness, you cannot fight any odds. You can fight any odd if you have that mental toughness. Someone is 70-year-old, 75-year-old, and want to climb stairs with mental. Yes, I can do it. With practice, with mental strength, if you see, who is that? At 70 years old, he's 70. Milind Soman. There is a man who is above 70. Abhi she runs the marathon. And his mother, above 80, 85, she also runs marathon. How it's possible? If they tell me to run marathon, I will not be. मेरा तो छोड़ा, आप लोग भी नहीं कर सकते इतना. कर सकते हो? Challenge. Next time marathon hoga to I will inform you. I want to see.
I can complete.
You can complete?
I have completed 10 kilometers. I got third or fourth.
Okay, so next time I'll see. हम भी देखेंगे. And you too.
Because
I will see Santosh Jadhav. The two Santosh Jadhav of my class. How much determination you have. I'll tell you then so and so here who who tells us about the marathon. This time I'll go and I'll inform and I want to see both of you complete.
Where?
I'll tell you when it comes.
In UP.
यूटी कब नहीं अभी मुंबई में होता रहता है ना.
अच्छा वहाँ.
जब भी होता है I'll tell you and हम भी देखेंगे कितना किलोमीटर करते हो. Okay, and bring the certificate. Okay, so toughness, she proved herself repeatedly. The Culmination of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992, just 4 years after she had shyly asked the Aravalli mountaineers if she could join them. That was when she was in Jaipur and she was doing completing her studies under graduation. And shyly, she just wanted to see what is there on the other side, and she saw some mountaineers, and shyly she said, "Can I join you?" And they said yes. That was informal. Then she took formal training and everything. And then after 4 years of that incident, what she did, at barely 20 years of age, Santosh Jadhav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. If her climbing skills, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers because she was also an environmentalist. So, what if her climbing skills, she had climbing skills, physical fitness, endurance, mental strength, all this impressed her seniors, her concern for others, where we saw that she shared what she shared with a fellow mountaineer once, oxygen cylinder. That shows her concern for others. Yes, Mohan Singh, na? And desire to work together with them found her a special place in the, and also an environmentalist that you can also add. Impressed her seniors, her concern for others, and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the hearts of fellow climbers. During the 1992 Everest mission, Santosh Jadhav provided a special care to a climber who lay dying at the South Pole. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him. However, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate had she not shared her oxygen with him. And oxygen is very precious when you are in high altitude. So sharing oxygen is like giving your house to somebody to live. Okay. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. She even scaled Everest a second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled Everest twice during her life when this story was written, and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering. In recognition of her achievements, the Indian government bestowed upon her one of the nation's top honors, Padma Shri. Analyze historic record, where it was written that till then she was the only woman who scaled Mount Everest twice. And she is the bride recipient of nation's top honor, Padma Shri. Describing her feelings when she was literally on top of the world, Santosh has said it took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in. The enormity, the vastness, the big moment to sink in, because she thought she was barely 20 years old. So she could not believe that she could eventually do it. And ye sochta hai top mein jaake. Describing her feelings when she was literally on top of the world. Mount Everest is the highest peak, right? So top of the world ही हुआ ना. Santosh has said it took some time for the enormity of the moment to sink in, the vastness of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled the Indian tricolor and held it aloft on the roof of the world. The feeling is indescribable. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world, making India a topmost best country. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian. Also, a fervent environmentalist, Santosh, collected and brought down 500 kilograms of garbage from the Himalayas. This is the picture. The enormity of the moment, a very great moment, the vastness of the moment. Gave it up high for having strong and sincere feeling. Also fervent environmentalist, a strong, sincere environmentalist. She did it. See, these are a few points in a bill. Santosh's family background and birth, we all know. Santosh Jadhav has twice climbed Mount Everest. She is the only woman in the world to do so. You can write, because it's written in the book, don't have to write that when this story was written, after that very, no, just itna hi likho jitna book mein hai. She was born in a society where the birth of her, so where she was born, you all know, in Haryana district. That you have to write. And she was the sixth child of the family, where the rest were son, and she was the only daughter, and grandmother always wanted for a daughter. Great desire for education, we all know. Father put her in the local school, but she said she will go to Delhi for good education. She did not want to get married, and from there she went to Jaipur. And when father, she wanted to go to Delhi for good education. When father said he will not, he will not sponsor her education, she said she will do extra job to pay for her college fees. Then father said yes, because father knew that he cannot break Santosh's spirit. She had iron will. This word you can use, iron will. Take words from the passage. See, this is what I said. Parents refused to pay the fees. Then that she would work part-time to earn money, they agreed to pay for her education finally, because they knew that they cannot change.
Because if she worked outside, it would also disgrace.
Both are hate, but because they here more important is because they know by this time they know that they cannot break her desire. She's so iron-willed that they cannot change her decision. Takes to climbing in Aravalli, that we know. Joins Institute of Mountaineering. This also. These are small short points. Before the exam, you have to read all this. I'll give you in the next class probably. Conquers Mount Everest. These are small points which I have accumulated so that honored by the government. So if you, even if you do not have much time, if you read this.
These are like keywords which we
keywords points.
Remember the entire.
Yes, entire thing. See, why was the holy man who gave Santosh's mother his blessing surprised?
Because when the holy man heard the word Santosh, Dev Santosh, he thought that the mother wanted blessing for a son. But when the grand
Santosh तो पहले नहीं हुआ ना, बाद में हुआ.
They said that when her mother was expecting Santosh at home,
They did not name a child.
So they thought, the holy man thought that the mother wanted a son, but the unborn child's grandmother said to
Surprisingly
said the holy man that they wanted a daughter
child.
So the holy man
was surprised, because everybody in those days in the patriarchal society, you have to mention the wanted son. This you have to mention, दोनों आकर्ष mention करना है. The holy man who gave Santosh's mother his blessings was surprised because her grandmother started blessing for her daughter. In this society, most of the people asked for देखो कितना गलत है, to bless for a son. ये क्या है, to bless for a son. They want blessing for a son. They want a son because it was a patriarchal society. You have to mention करना है ये ना, ठीक है? Why he was surprised? Give an example to show that even as a child, give an example to show that even as a young girl, Santosh was not ready to accept anything unreasonable.
When the girls in Haryana were younger, they were forced to wear traditional dresses.
Not forced, they used to wear.
They used to wear traditional dresses, but Santosh thought that this was very unreasonable, so she decided to wear shorts.
And she wanted she used to wear shorts and not the traditional dresses meant for girls. You have to give an example to show that even as a younger Santosh was not ready to accept anything unreasonable. So ye example. You are right. Next one, Akash. Why was Santosh sent to the local school?
Santosh was sent to the local school because she lived in a factory.
अगर नहीं होता है तो a society where boys were given more preference than the girls. ये लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा. But don't write something that where the spelling is
know
wrong.
the spelling, but I cannot pronounce.
Tell me the spelling.
P-A-T C.
Go and write. If you write, you will be so टुकड़ा करके just you write if you write or you can write there.
This one.
You don't have a pencil?
I have, but it is.
Okay, ठीक है देखो. Anyway, next year you don't want this. Okay.
Cannot remember the word.
Tell me. E.
P-A-T-R.
Pat. Re.
Yeah.
Re. R.
C.
R. ठीक है? Otherwise, a society where boys were given more preference to than girls. So she was meant to get married at a very young age, no?
Yes. So they were meant to marry at a very young age, and her family did not want her to get
So good education
very
was needed.
educated. Yeah.
She was sent to the local school in line with the prevailing custom in the family. What was the custom that you have to mention? No. This is not the right answer. 3 marks का ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. She was sent to the local school in line with
And
the.
this is not 3 marks. That 3 means that refer to the paragraph 3 for clues.
Why was Santosh sent to the local school? Paragraph 3 में क्या है?
It is written that answer this question in one or two sentences. Each the paragraph numbers within brackets provide clue to the.
Okay, ठीक है. Still, what is the paragraph? What is written in the paragraph?
Marriage as well, yes, that was the last. Sorry.
Sir,
Yeah.
But in line with the prevailing custom in the family, Santosh had to do with the local village because of tradition. Even though her parents could afford best school in one country, even in the capital of the country, Delhi, she still had to go to local.
If it is a 3 marks question,
Yes.
if it is a 3 marks question, because to follow the tradition, girls were supposed to get married at a very early age.
And the parents thought that sending her to a good school would cost a lot of money, but she had to be married.
It's a wastage of money. You can use your own thing. It's easy.
The grooms did not want their brides to be more educated.
ये भी use कर सकते हो. ये भी है actually. This all we know. These are plain questions. Plain question answer I will not say. How did Santosh begin to climb mountains? So first, watch the villagers from the from the hostel Kasturba hostel mountain.
Which was
And-
facing opposite.
And she used to see the villagers going up and vanishing.
Yes, so one day she
That-
was curious.
No,
about-
that was brought, that she was curious what's on the other side.
That is why.
Ah,
So she decided to go.
and see for herself.
But there was no one except a group of mountaineers. She decided to join the mountaineers who agreed.
She asked her.
And then.
That was the beginning of her climbing expedition. Then she began climb mountains every year. और इस संतोष ने उसके बाद नेक्स्ट क्या हुआ? अरावली विलेज हो गया, उसके बाद you have to say ना, क्योंकि how did संतोष begin to climb mountains? How did begin? उसके बाद वो join किया, वो भी तो है ना part of this. आकर्ष बताओ. Next part. First started with Aravali, and then she joined. She got interested. She found interest
She
in climbing.
found that her passion was.
Passion. She tried to, and then she joined Nehru something, na?
That she's
Prakashi's Nehru Institute of Mountain.
Okay. And then what happened?
to get a formal training for
And
mountaineering. Then after 4 years of this incident, she
After that, she
climbed
started. She climbed mountain every year. है ना? Climbed mountain every year, and then finally, after 4 years of joining, she scaled the Mount Everest. ये पूरा बोला है. Starting from Aravali. So you say yes to everything while writing you base. How did Santosh begin to climb mountains? 3 marks. 3 marks का है. Starting from Aravali and then joining the mountaineering, whatever she joined. And from there every year she used to go, and then finally Mount Everest. ये 4 first.
6 points are not enough.
6 points की सबसे नहीं है. Whatever you are writing, you have to explain that. 4 भी है तो भी चलेगा.
I tried to at least write 6 points.
But points, when it's not important to write points. When you talk about how the interest grew in her, seeing the Aravali and seeing the villagers, then going there and mountaineers in the mountains.
Even if there are.
First point. This is first point. Second point, what do you say? Her passion for the passion you use, no? Passion or desire. It became so, it was intensified. That's why she came to Delhi.
She thought.
No, Uttarkashi and joined this.
Yes, Nehru's.
After joining, every year she used to go for expedition, and finally, third one, Mount Everest. 5 minute break ले लो, we'll complete this and then I'll go to your wish, fulfill your wish. The last bit.
Government now knows me.
हाँ, मुझे पता है, I know this. ये मैंने देखा है. So take 5 minutes break, huh? I'll come and fulfill your wish now. Santosh Yadav का wish हो गया. Now it's whose wish? Anand's wish. And Anand and Akash next class will decide, apart from giving, and I remember, I have to show good answer of the topper and this. And then we'll complete Maria Sharapova iske saath hai na, because I thought I'll do this. And one more thing is there, one more story is there.
We are completing behind first. Yes. Because in the school they are doing randomly.
Random ही होता है.
They did 2 chapters from students and 1 chapter from.
That is okay. But whatever we are doing, we are far ahead. Isn't it? So you have to, so that is why next class, I'll give you all the papers, what we have done.
In
ठीक है?
the school the snake and mirror is not done.
So see, next
we are
class,
only left with if I were you.
Finally, yes.
see, reach for the top, Santosh Yadav we completed today.
And Kathmandu is also not done.
Next.
Yes.
Uh, So Maria Sharapova, I thought I'll complete today, but today because we have to do something else, not do. And ये जो है ना आज मैंने ये भी सोचा था करूँगी ठीक है I'll do it in the next class. Our house is not a home, we'll do it in the next class. So take 5 minutes break. I'm coming back.
तो किस साइड से आता है तो किस साइड से आता है हिरानंद सिग्नल से आता है